5 years ago, I started intermittent fasting to lose weight, reduce my body fat percentage, and stop snacking. And it worked great. For the first time in my life, I wasn't constantly thinking about my next meal. But then it all changed. At first, all I wanted was to lose weight and feel better about myself. But as I've lost the weight, I have realized that my focus shouldn't solely be on the number on the scale, but on my overall health and well-being. I also really want to get stronger and build muscle, especially in my legs. I made a lot of progress on my own along the way, but I've noticed recently that my ability to add muscle has started to slow down. And that's become really frustrating, and reaching my goals has become harder and harder to accomplish. So I have sought the help of my friend Casey Drake, a certified personal trainer and functional health coach. Casey is a fantastic wealth of knowledge on functional medicine, nutrition, and fitness, and I knew that she could help me with my problem. I've been super struggling trying to add muscle over the past 6 months, 8 months. I feel like I'm doing progressive overload. I've been doing intermittent fasting, and I've been really trying to focus on hitting everything in the gym, but I still am struggling, and I was hoping you could help.
Yeah. And I think one of the first steps is honestly going to be taking a step back from intermittent fasting. I think it has its benefits, but I think whenever we need to build tissue and creating a smaller window, it's going to put digestive stress on the body, especially whenever you need to increase those calories.
I've been doing a 16-8 for, I want to say 5 years. It's been pretty consistent, and it's basically my life. I don't even think about it as intermittent fasting anymore. It's just how I structured my day, So that's what I've been doing.
And it makes sense. A lot of people move to intermittent fasting just because it makes it easier on their schedule. It's less meals that they have to prep. It makes it a little bit more convenient. But I think whenever it comes to, wanting to build muscle, you almost need that bigger window to take the stress off the body so you can actually start to introduce those calories and ultimately build tissue.
Okay. So no more fasting.
No more.
What about fasted workouts?
If the goal is to build muscle, I would not do fasted workouts. That's what I would fuel with carbs for sure.
So I'm pretty nervous about quitting IF. I've been using it for so long. It's just such a part of my day. It's like second nature now. And on top of that, I've shared on YouTube for years how helpful it can be.
Intermittent fasting has a number of benefits. It seriously changed my life. I try to keep my fasting schedule. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed that I have less inflammation. I have more energy. I'm not hungry all of the time.
And if I stop now and say that it's not good enough to use now, how is that going to look or feel to people who have heard me say for so long how helpful it's been for me? But I trust Casey, and I know that she knows what she's doing, and I know that what got me here won't necessarily get me to the next stage that I want to get to. So here we go. Switching from my IF lifestyle seems relatively simple, but it also means some pretty big changes for me. The biggest change is my workout time. I've been doing fasted workouts with Dustin in the morning forever, and this new plan means that I have to stop working out in the morning with him, which is something that we both enjoy. Even if Dustin wanted to work out later with me, his schedule just wouldn't allow it. And so I'm literally making the decision to break up our workout time, and I'm really nervous how he's gonna take it. Right now it's 7 a.m. and all the kids are still sleeping. Dustin's working out, and I'm gonna use this time to get a little bit of extra work done. So I'm gonna make my time useful. So instead of pushing off my breakfast until past 10 a.m. like I normally do, I'm gonna start to have my first meal at 8 a.m. This actually works out pretty nice for me since I usually wake up hungry, but then having the workout distracts me. So I can't really complain about this change. This is one of my biggest meals of the day, and I love it. I have scrambled eggs with spinach and mushroom, cantaloupe, bell peppers. I also have rolled oats with a little bit of coconut oil in there. I really, really like this breakfast. So I definitely feel more energy in my workouts, non-fasted versus fasted. And it feels like I have a lot more power in my workouts as well. But I have been kind of struggling with being stressed during the day to make sure that I get my workout in. Whereas in the morning, it was really easy. It was the first thing I did in the morning. But I'm hitting a ton of PRs, and I feel like my muscles are getting bigger, so things are going in the right direction. Well, it's been nice to have more flexibility in the timing of when I eat. It's actually been a struggle to eat later. I haven't been as hungry in the evening when it's time to eat dinner, and then I feel kind of full and bloated after eating. And then I even feel bloated in the morning when I wake up. Look at this. I feel so bloated and like uncomfortable, and there's so much pressure. Like,
yeah, that looks really uncomfortable.
I'm up 3 pounds and I feel extremely uncomfortable. I know, and I'm just like, this is exactly what I wasn't wanting.
I hope you're enjoying this video. Real quick, I wanted to take a second to share my favorite protein powder with you. I love Cleanish plant-based protein. It tastes amazing, has a small list of simple ingredients even my kids can pronounce, and has 0 added sugars, which I know you agree is important. When I shared a few YouTube videos a little bit ago showing how I have a protein smoothie every day, and I talked about the importance of protein, especially for women, I kept getting asked, what protein powder do I recommend? However, honestly, the options out there at the time really needed to be improved. Even once you found a clean option, it tasted awful, or it had a grainy, gritty texture, or a super strong dirt-like stevia aftertaste. So I got to work. And it took 2 years from that point to bring Cleanish plant-based protein into the world. Now it has 100% 5-star reviews. It's loved by pretty much everyone who tries it. And it's even been featured in Women's Health magazine and Vanity Fair as a fantastic plant-based protein. We have 4 delicious flavors to choose from, and you can get 10% off your first order. So head over to cleanish.com to grab a bag and see why our customers say they'll never buy a different protein. I decided to ping Casey about this bloated feeling and see if she had any ideas.
Okay, Casey got back to me. She said, when you fill out the digestion portion on our check-in, please be as detailed as possible. For example, do you feel bloated after a specific meal? Do you wake up bloated or distended? If it happens after a meal, is it 30 to 60 minutes or is it a couple of hours? And the more detail around it, the better. So I have to be detailed when I fill out my check-in.
Because we're so used to that fasting, we pulled the intermittent fasting. What I'm going to do this week is actually switch up the way that we give you your food. Really like loading on like heavier carb meals earlier in the day and then trying to give you smaller meals in the evening, especially if like appetite's not necessarily there.
Okay, so Casey recommended that I move around where I get my calories during the day, and so it's not as heavy in the evenings. So I'm gonna try that today and hopefully it'll help. So I reduced my meal size last night, like Casey suggested, and it finally felt like I wasn't forcing down food. It felt like the right amount. And this morning I'm feeling a lot better. I don't feel like I'm nearly as bloated. I feel hungry and like I actually wanna go have my breakfast. So that's nice. I'm feeling a lot better this week. I feel like my energy is up, my workouts are going great, and my body is responding a lot better to having the meals spread out more during the day.
All right, Lacey, we are getting somewhere now. I was actually really excited to go over the pictures and all the progress that we had this week. We saw some big changes composition-wise. And I don't think that there's any coincidence with like toggling those macros and giving you a little bit more diversity. I think your gut really liked it, and I think your body really liked it, especially just looking at composition alone and how much change that we saw in one short week. I was very, very impressed.
This is my favorite meal right now. It's my pre-workout meal, and I have it every day at 3 p.m. I saute carrots and artichoke hearts along with tilapia, which I season with garlic and onion powder, cumin, oregano, and curry powder. I also have sliced avocado and white rice, which I cook in the same pan as the fish, so it picks up all those tasty flavors. I have gained a little bit of weight over the past couple weeks, though I expect that's from the heavier workouts and starting creatine, which Casey recommended I add in to help build muscle. But I only feel fuller in my muscles, and I don't feel like I'm bloated anymore. Where I would have been super freaked out by gaining a little bit of weight at one point in my health journey, now I recognize the body I want will likely require several more pounds of lean muscle. Whether or not I'm fasting, getting in high quality protein is always essential to a healthy lifestyle. I have my Cleanish protein shake along with a yogurt bowl every day for my second meal. So I was worried about getting snacky and being hungry more often when stopping IF because that was a big pain point that IF had fixed for me. With this new schedule though, I don't find myself snacky, but I think that's mostly because I have 5 meals during the day, so a new meal is always at most just a couple hours away. I also think that the many years of pushing through wanting snacks with IF has taught me that I can always look past a feeling of snackiness. When I finish my meals though, I feel almost a small tinge of hunger still, and I don't ever feel super full, even with my most dense meals, which is crazy because I'm eating over 2,100 calories in a day right now. I kind of go from feeling mostly satisfied from meal to meal, which isn't something I super enjoy. That was something I really liked about IF, is I always felt really full after my meals. I'm seriously still not used to eating this late. It's 7 p.m. and I'm having my last meal and it still feels very weird. When Casey recommended that I quit intermittent fasting, I was super nervous. Since quitting IF, I've discovered a newfound energy for my workouts. I've been able to incorporate more meals into my daily plan because I eat so many meals now. And my body has responded well to the new timing of my meals, even though it was a little bumpy at first. But will I keep this up? I do find that I prefer condensing my meals for the sake of making my day less focused on food and eating all day, so I'm thinking on how I can create a happy medium where I can still build muscle and also not have to eat so many meals throughout the day. If you're curious about IF and whether it's the right fit for you and your goals, you should definitely check out this video next so that you can understand how to correctly use intermittent fasting as part of your healthy lifestyle.